Welcome to Video 2 in Microsoft Excel 2010, a training course for beginners. If you haven't signed up at my website yet, do it at sharonsmithlive.com. Make sure that you keep getting all the videos you need to finish this course. If you remember from the last lesson, I told you to open up Excel, go to the Start button, then click on it, and Microsoft Excel should be up there because you've actually used it. But if you recall, we actually put the Excel training course onto the desktop. So if you just click on that, double click, and you'll be opened up there straight away. Sorry, I just had to resize my screen for you so that you'd actually be able to see the whole Excel screen. Now we're back in our workbook, which is called Excel Training. Our worksheet, My Budget, and we're going to start entering some data in here today. If you've signed up to my training course, then you will have received a PDF that will give you all the details of the data that needs to be entered in here. But we'll just start off a little bit at the beginning so you can see what we're doing. And so this is what I want to do. I actually want to enter it all in caps lock. So I'm going to lock my screen. And I'm going to start in A2. The reason I'm starting here is because there's a certain amount of data that I want to be able to put headings around the outside perhaps, or give myself a little bit of space. So I wanted to start in A2 for that reason. So what I want to put in is details. I tab to the next column. That's how you get across. You could mouse over to it, right? Now I want to put in budgeted, and I want to include the dollar in there. And I'm going to tab again, which is going to look like it's over the top of the last lot of data. And it is, but I'm doing this for a specific reason, so that once I've entered it, you'll be able to see there is a way to get Excel to fix that for you. The next is going to be the date. Tab across, actual, and dollars, and then difference. Right. Next line down, I've used my mouse to come down there, is going to be called income. Below that, people's names I've made up. They're called Bill and Mary, and you'll understand when you actually see the whole document. Then I'm going to leave 3 empty spaces. Do my next entry, which is going to say expenses. Underneath that will be accommodation. Mortgage / rent. House insurance. Repairs. I'm going to, repairs might be better if I spelled it correctly. Leave 2 lines, put utilities, and I'll just stop off right there because you don't want to sit and watch me type in all these details, which are the same details that you'll be typing in. So I'm going to pause the video and finish the rest of it, and you can enter your details as well. But I first want to show you, it looks like such a mess at the moment, as you can see, but I wanted to show you something that would make it easier without having to do as much as you often see other people do. I know that doesn't make sense, but I know that I am going to make this go down to E75. So I want to go down there, so that will be E75. And I'm going to just highlight all the way back up to the top. So there is a simple way to format this so that everything fits into the column that it's in. It won't look as nice as we're going to make it look in the long run, but this is just so that it's not looking as funny as it is at the moment. And that is to go to, see we're in home here at the moment. We go over to the formatting, right? Format, click that button down there, and auto fit column width. And that will mean that the column that has the most detail will have room all around it, and I'll show you how it looks now. So even though we've only just made it fit and we've just put those in, you can just see that it looks a little bit better. So I'll just pause this now and fill in the rest of the data for you, and then we'll go and carry on. As you can see now, I filled in all that data for you. And the reason I've done it like this is we're going to set up, I've got transportation, education, medical. These are going to be segments that I'm going to add up so that you'll be able to use these in your budget for more useful purposes. Now it's still not looking too great, but what we want to do now is we're going to highlight columns A, C, D, and E. And remember how we had this little format button over here on our columns? We'll knock that down, and we're going to say column width, and we'll set the column width to 15. Okay, so it's not the same as this one, as A, but it is as much room as is necessary. You don't really want to have too much room in there. I really want the details of this to stay left aligned, but these four would be much better if they were center aligned. So that's the same as any sort of alignment in word processing. Just center the text, and that's what I'm going to do with it. So it's already starting to look a bit neater. Next, what I want to do is I want to start to build some of the colors into how it looks so that you'll be able to see why we're setting it up in the way that we are. So what I want to do now is try and do a little bit of formatting, and as you might imagine, your income is a good thing. So I want to make the area that's the income in green. So I'm going to right click, and I've highlighted that whole area, format cells, and I'm going to choose green and say OK. Now if you click away from that, you can see it's very difficult to read. So what I want to do with income is change the font to white, bold it, and now you can see that we've got a space there for the income for the month. For Bill and Mary, and they may have more payments coming into them, so we've just left a little bit of space. Now in expenses, that's where we're spending all our money, so I'm highlighting that area, and I'm going to color this in red. Okay, another situation where it is quite difficult to read, but if you change the color to white and bold it, you can see it. This is going to give us a little bit of an area so that we can see our incomes, how much our income is, and how much our expenses are in a clearer sort of way. So I will now change the accommodation, because that's actually going to be a header for an area, and I'll change that to a blue, this blue, very clean blue. And I'm going to keep changing the font's color to white to make it stand out. If we use very dark colors, the white will stand out much better against that sort of background. I'll go through and change some more colors for you, and then we'll get a better look of what we're going to do, and you can do the same thing. Now the worksheet's formatted in a much nicer looking manner. It's not necessary to format your worksheet like this. The only reason I'm really doing it is so that when we put in our formulas, they will be very obvious to us, because I'm going to include them in the coloured areas, and that way you'll be easily able to check them out. This makes life a little bit easier for you and just gives you an idea of what you're looking at. Now, in our next video, we're going to start putting in all the formulas, and hopefully you're going to fill in some data just so that you can see how our budget looks. Then we will eventually, probably in the following video, we will copy these details to the next lot of sheets so that we can have a budget that's set up for a whole year. Now, don't forget, if you haven't already signed up to the training, do so at sharonsmithlive.com. The reason is I send resources with the emails to make it easier for you so that you don't have to make up data or guess things. It's already there for you. So this will make life a lot simpler for you in the long run. In fact, I'll actually end up giving you an Excel document already completed. So that will be the last thing. So I hope to see you tomorrow, and good luck with your training. By the way, we need to save our document, so we're just going to use the save button, save all our data so we don't lose anything, and click on X, and that'll close our data. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.